Hey JT, the second time around here, how much more comfortable are you this season heading into this camp and all?
Yeah, it definitely helps. Obviously, close with all the guys and know the systems pretty well and just how camp's going to work and the setup and everything coming up to Traverse City. And yeah, it helps me just jump in, right away and get right into it.
Hey, how much did last season, just the way it ended, how much did that sting you guys and sting you personally and just the team, you think?
Yeah, obviously it was rough and with the battle that we gave it at the end of the year, it's tough to come up short. And we the whole room felt it, the coaching staff, management, and we know the fans felt it. So definitely something you think about in the summer. Not as much, trying to go back and rewrite it, but focus on doing a little bit more this year and knowing that it could be any game, could be the difference.
Thanks, JT.
Helene? Hi, JT. Wanted to ask you about Simon Edmondson. Finished the season with you guys. What's the potential for what that guy can bring to your lineup?
Yeah, plenty of potential. I think you can see the physical tools right away. He thinks the game well. Obviously, young defenseman in this league are gonna have growing pains. Every guy's been through it. It's a tough position to play in this league, and with what he can do, he'll probably be asked to do a lot. And but he's a great kid. He's a super hard worker. Loves hockey. Super confident. I think there's a lot of good hockey in that guy.
Just also, Marco Kasper and Nate Danielson, what kind of impressions have they made on you? I don't know how much you were able to see of them maybe last year, but just this camp as well.
Yeah, I haven't been in the groups the first 2 days, so hard to say this year, but skated with them a little bit before camp started, and both really hardworking guys. They're good kids. They love the game. They seem very committed to it. It's hard to break in this league, but they both have the skill and kind of the work to do that.
Thank you.
Millsy?
Hey JT, how are you guys seeing the buy-in from last season carry over into camp now? I know it's only been a couple of days, but how are you seeing that kind of play out on and off the ice for you guys?
I think the focus has been really good to start. It's been very high paced. I feel like the details have been, pretty sharp for the first 2 days of training camp. You can sometimes there's a little bit of sloppiness, but I can only speak for our group that I skated with the last 2 days. Feels like it's been sharp and the focus has been there, which is important. These are important days to hammer down the systems and learn. And it's good to see the guys, ready to go right from the start of camp.
Thank you.
Max?
Hey JT, you obviously have quite a bit of familiarity with Tyler Motte. How do you think he can help you guys this year?
Yeah, I know Tyler very well. Obviously, played the U.S. program, played in Michigan together, and he's a very hardworking player. He's, he has a good amount of skill. He can really shoot the puck, but it's his skating and his work and his forechecking, blocking shots. He does all the little things right, and that's what we need throughout our lineup. And you can never have too many guys that do those things. And I think he's going to bring a lot of competitiveness to our lineup and physicality and speed.
You touched on it a little bit there, but I feel like his reputation is so much as a penalty killer, but you played on him and had a line that had so much offense. Like, is that a part of his game that gets overlooked by people, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's I know he has it in him because I've seen him do it a lot. I haven't played with him in the NHL, obviously, but in college, you can definitely put the puck in the net. And I think he's a guy that's willing to do whatever it takes to win and whatever he's asked of. And like you said, a lot of times he's asked to play on the penalty kill and play maybe defensive minutes and shut down. And he's going to put his head down and do whatever he's asked of.
Thank you.
Bob?
JT, when you get a new line mate like you've had with Tarasenko the last couple of days of camp, what are those conversations like when you're first learning each other? What kind of things do you want him to know about you? What do you want to know about him?
Yeah, I mean, I think There's definitely some familiarity there. I played against him all the time when I was in Colorado and he was in St. Louis. And once you get over the jokes of the battles we used to go through against each other, and you know, him and Pat playing with those two guys last 2 days, they're so skilled, and they know what they want, which is super easy to play with when, you know, they're able to describe, you know, I want the puck here, or if I get in this position, I'm probably going to do this. And that's what, you know, camp's about, is learning each other's tendencies, and whether lines switch up or stay the same or whatever. You want to try and get as much familiarity with guys as possible. And I think the first day I was maybe more feeling each other out, and then today I feel like us three were a little more vocal with each other, and talking through things, what each other is seeing and what each other like.
Thanks.
Connor?
Hi, JT. I'm curious, obviously last year you had 48 points, year before 52. Those are two pretty big breakout seasons for you in terms of your whole career. What changed to kind of empower you to have those breakout years?
You know, I think part of it is confidence. Part of it is the game slowing down a little bit and seeing the ice better, trusting myself. Part of that comes from coaches trusting me, and part of it's trusting myself. I feel like in Colorado, I was asked to do a lot of different things throughout my career there. It was different parts of the lineup, wing, center. 2 years ago, I got a little more of an opportunity to play like pretty solid second line minutes with a little more skill guys. And I feel like it was something that happened early in my career that maybe I wasn't as ready for, where I think that the last couple of years I felt more comfortable in those positions, and trusting myself, and maybe not just deferring to, you know, line mates that are used to putting up a lot of points, you know, playing with them, not just trying to give them the puck, and really trusting myself, and just continuing to grow. I feel like there's still more. I think that's what you always should feel as a player, that there's still more that I can get out of myself. And I think that's why I'm really excited for this year, and, you know, just another opportunity to up my game and continue to prove myself.
To go back to Tyler Motte and you playing with him in college, I mean, you could have four guys down the middle who played together at Michigan. That's kind of rare at the NHL level. But I'm curious, how does that kind of familiarity with each other going back so far help you guys maybe have cohesion between all the different lines that you know each other so well?
Yeah, I think it helps. You know, first off the ice, just Tyler coming in and being comfortable, kind of like Andrew and Dylan helped me last year. It's always different coming to a new team, and I think that having someone that you can lean on, like, where's breakfast? Where am I supposed to be for this? Like, what's this kind of going to look like? And, you know, guys you can go to and talk to, and obviously we all know each other's games pretty well. So if we end up playing with each other, or not, or just seeing different things in each other's games, definitely a lot of familiarity there for sure.
Do you think it's harder to join a new team as a center with a bit more responsibility and things like that?
I think it can be. It's hard, you know, no matter what, coming to a new system. Sometimes there's a little crossover in systems. Sometimes there's not, and you're learning, you know, what the coaches want and what other players want. You know, center maybe a little more is asked of you depending on the system. But, you know, the coaches, at least for me last year, coaches and Dylan and Andrew definitely laid it out pretty well, where I felt pretty comfortable early on playing in this system as a center.
Thank you.
Last question, Sean Shapiro.
Hey, with just kind of following up on that, when it comes to the center thing, you're now in your seventh full NHL season, I think it is. How much has the rigidity, I guess, of the position changed in your career? Is it something where, like, we talk center, we talk winger, like, in your mind, how much have those things become? Is it like, how different is the job now? Because a lot of times you're a coach now, talk F1, F2, F3, things like that. Like, from your perspective of how it's kind of evolved during your career, what's it been like to look at that?
Yeah, I think that sometimes the game now can feel positionless a little bit, where if you are the first guy back, you may have to play low man in the defensive zone. You may have to play what would typically be the centerman. I think depending on who you're playing with, I always want to be down low. I want to play kind of my position. I want to have that responsibility of being the low forward in the defensive zone. But the game's so fast where you can't always just like, I'm going to go play my spot and whatever happens. You need to kind of protect the middle and then work your way out. And I think that that's kind of part of our system of, if I fall down the offensive zone, Pat's got to be the low man in the D zone for, whether it's 5 seconds or 30 seconds, that's kind of what it is. And, but yeah, it's similar as a center when you're dealing with with like defensemen. If they're up in the play and you're the first man back, you kind of got to fill into that spot. So sometimes it's a little positionless, but I kind of like to be down low and be in that center spot, especially defensively.
And then, not to pick at a sore subject, but for you, this past season was the first time, really, as a full-time NHLer, you didn't have a playoff run at some point. And I'm curious, from a physical recovery perspective, if you kind of got a little bit more of appreciation for what those long runs in Colorado might have done to a body and recovery when you didn't have one, if you look at it that way.
Yeah, it's definitely a longer summer. Didn't really like it, to be honest. I want to play hockey. I don't. I'm more than willing to train for as long as I need to train, but I want to be playing playoff hockey, whatever it does in my body. I take care of my body as good as I can during the season and the off season. So I think that's something I learned in Colorado is super important if you're going to play into the playoffs like we did and play deep and have shorter summers. Is you can't just take care of yourself in the summer. You got to take care of yourself 365 days a year. And I think that's why, it's good to have stuff to work on this summer and it's good to have that time, but yeah, last summer was too long and definitely don't want to do that again.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys.